All right, second video of the day. 5 things I'm working on with my left-hand bass, Keybass, left-hand bass. So 5 things I'm working on. Really excited for this video. I'm gonna jump right in. I made this really cool beat right here. That's your boots and cats. You know, that's your 4 on the floor right there. And this is just, you know, took this off of the Bruno Mars chunky thing I'm working on. I'll put a little link up there for that video, trying to break down that bass line. But let's hop right in. Very first thing I'm working on for left-hand key bass is articulation. Articulation is really going to give you the feel that you're going for when you're playing these grooves. So that's whether we're playing notes long or short. Oh man, that's feeling a little fast. I'm just gonna slow this down a bit. Short. Oh. Sometimes even like too short. You can practice things like a little bit too short sometimes just to build the technique versus long and legato. Connected. So sometimes, like, depending on the bass sound you're using, right now I'm doing, so I got the Roland FA06 over here, and I got R&B bass 3. And this is a cool one because when you play very legato, you connect the notes, it takes the articulation out completely, so you can get like some smoother transitions, but it's got a little punchy thing that happens when you put space in between the notes. So let's hop back over to our beat. Boom. That's that Bruno Mars lick. Boom. Dun, 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 dun. Ba-dum, it's just like thick. It's chunky when you put it. So if I played this, it's totally different. Almost too short. Totally different, right? But we find that happy medium, and this isn't something you really count out. It's just something that you feel, and it's just like the perfect duration for the note. And I think that has a lot to do with articulation and how you're playing it. So that's going to be the number one thing, and we just sit it right in the pocket. And then let's speed this up a little bit. Right? Articulation. Trying to think of another way I can demonstrate this, but I'm just gonna hop into number 2 because you guys don't really need to watch me practice. I say that all the time. Number 2 is going to be octaves. Octaves. There's a lot of octaves going on in this thing. You hear bass players do this all the time. So this one you got to be really careful when you're doing. I'm already seeing myself getting into this pattern sometimes. You want your center of gravity, like you don't want to push down the key hard. You want to just have like very minimal pressure, but where you put the pressure over which finger is going to be super important. So check this out. If I'm playing this low C with my pinky, right? I want this to be like, I don't want to play here and have the center of gravity be over this middle finger. I want it to be over this pinky right here. And then likely when I go up to the G, the high C, here's the center of gravity. My thumb is underneath, right? And then I hop back down and I let that, and you can just practice this slowly. And then on a different note, boom. So I did it right there, right? And my fingers are shaking a little bit because it takes a lot of control. I actually learned this from Radham Schwartz, who I was studying organ bass with in the jazz style. And he noticed that I was playing these notes and I was keeping my center of gravity over here. And of course your hands are hurting because you have so much tension going on, where you could just use gravity to let it sit where it naturally wants to be instead of forcing it. So Excuse me. So you want to keep that center of gravity over the note you're playing, and it's going to prevent getting any injury, of course. If you ever feel any kind of weirdness, tingling, pain, just take a little break. You don't really want to play through that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you're taking care of your hands. I noticed a lot when I was starting in the beginning, partly because I had poor technique, but also partly because I was just practicing too much. This isn't a game where you're going to practice 10 hours in one day and you're going to be like, oh, I'm so great at playing Keybass, or I'm so good at playing saxophone, or any sort of instrument, anything you're doing in life. It's something you want to do consistently every single day to grow over time. This isn't like a short-term thing. This is a long-term thing, and hopefully you really love playing it. I'm sure you do. That's why you're here. And we're along for the journey. So sit back and enjoy the ride. So we're doing octaves now. So I might put my beat in. I'm gonna hella slow this down. Boom, ding, doom, doom, ding, doom. I'm just going chromatically. Ding, ding, doom, ding, doom, doom, ding, doom, doom, ding, boo, doom, ding. So I'm not going to break down all these different things I'm doing. Like, you can literally come up with infinite patterns to play. Have fun with it. Just fool around, but make sure that you keep your awareness in there and you're singing along in your mind and not thinking too much. You're putting your awareness into your hand, putting your awareness into your ear while you're doing this. So octaves, that's number 2. Number 1 was articulations. Number 2 was octaves. Number 3 is going to be fifths. All right, this is another very important thing. I'm showing off right now. This Montuno, I'm not even gonna lie, I spent hours and hours and hours in the practice room when I was in college trying to learn this thing, break this thing down. But I think that's like a really cool example of in Latin music how they use that root fifth. So one thing to keep in mind is when you're playing root fifth, you can go down or you can go up. Obviously, that's not like a genius thing to unveil, but think about it when you practice. So I can go, or I can go. So maybe let's just do I'm just gonna play this C minor chord right here. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, doom, dim, doody, bang, doom, dim. I can go up. Right? So that's one way to think about it. You can switch between chords. Maybe we'll go C minor to D minor. So let's put that beat back in, speed it up a little bit. Switch it up right there. Definitely. I mean, you can already tell I'm sloppy. This is something I have to work on, which is why this is 5 things I'm working on right now, sharing with you guys. I hope I can give a little insight. And if you think there's other things that I should be working on for Keybass, please leave a comment and let me know, because this is part of the community. This is like sharing with each other. So if you think that there's something else I need to focus on that I should be working on, let me know in the comments. You love these types of exercises, let me know. You hate these types of exercises, let me know. You hate this keyboard, let me know. Hopefully you love most of the stuff I'm doing and that's why you're sticking around. But definitely comment, and I'm going to be reading all the comments that come in on this channel because I'm really excited to share with you guys and hear your opinion too. So we got 3. We got articulations, we got octaves, we got fifths. The next one is going to be unisons. I'm saving a really good one for last too, but let's focus on unisons. I like to play these 2 different ways. The first way is going to be thumb and pointer finger, and another way is thumb and middle finger. I don't know, they're pretty similar, but sometimes one way gets tired, so I just switch it up. Let's do let's do a B minor. Let's do a B major 7. That sounds pretty. All right. So I'm trying to connect these the way a bass would. A bass player like playing an actual physical bass. So obviously, I can't even really focus right now on the right hand because my left hand is so sloppy. So, this is something I'll recommend too. Don't bite off more than you can chew at any given time. Like if you're playing key bass, think of yourself as the bass player first. This is the most important. The bass, be a bass player. So I'm just gonna cut this this right hand out for now. I'm gonna put the beat in. I'm just gonna, chill on that and I had a, kind of a little revelation because I was doing a kind of a big jump before, maybe from this C to this F, right? So you're gonna wanna make sure the downbeat, like if you're playing eighth notes, the downbeat is on either your pointer or your middle finger so that when you play the and, you're on your thumb to pivot down. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we're pivoting off of the thumb. That's going to give us our leverage to move to another note. So you really want to hit the downbeat on not thumb. So either your pointer or your middle finger. So when we're switching, 3, 4. So I started on the thumb, already bad. Here, let's do it again. 2, 3, 4. 3 and 1. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So this is the way you're gonna do it for bigger leaps. So let's add some chords to this. 3 and 4 and. That's pretty fun. So that's a cool way to like hype it up a little bit, start playing the unison notes, and it's like the bass player's like doom, 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 just vamping on that one note. So that's number 4. Right along, last one of my favorites, chromatics. Chromatics is something I'm practicing. And let's stick with that C to that F. Now we can approach those chords from a half step below or above that note. And you can actually, I like to do up to like 3 notes below. I'm going to give you an example of that. So we're going that C minor to that F7. So if we're approaching those root notes on the bass, half step below, it's going to sound something like this. 3. So the E to that F, and then the B to the C. Now we can do above C sharp to Z, and then F sharp to F. Now I can do 2 notes. So then we can start adding 2 notes. So let's say 2 notes below. Boo doo doo. Boo doo doo. Right? With the beat. Boo doo doo. Doo. Doo doo doo. Boo doo. Boo doo doo. Right? Boo doo doo. Boom. Boo doo 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 doo. So that one right there. Boom. Boom. 2, 3, and that one's really fun too, right? Boo doo doo doo. So that's 3 notes. Boo doo doo doo. 2, 3. Boo doo doo doo. And 2 and 1, 2, 3. Boo doo doo doo. Boo doo doo doo. Doo. Boo doo doo doo. Doo. Be doo doo doo. So you can go from above or below. 3 banana. Oh, be doo doo doo. But be doo doo doo. Doo. Boo doo doo doo. So that's how chromatics work. And yeah, they are really fun, really funky. You can switch them up. So I can do like 2 below, 3 above. But I would say like, don't think too much about, I'm going to play it this way, I'm going to play it that way, blah, blah, blah. Just hear your way through it when you're practicing this stuff. There's so many ways you can break it down. It's infinite. You're gonna hear me say this so many times. When you practice, make your own exercises. You know, have fun, bring awareness into it, enjoy the journey. You know, anyway, those are the 5 things: articulation, octaves, fifths, unisons, and chromatics. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I'm gonna get to practicing here. I got a lot of work to do. And if you liked it, you know, you can hit that like button, hit subscribe. VTX Studios here. Got more videos on the way. And leave a comment if you want to start a conversation, because I'm more than happy to engage with you guys. So peace.